Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Sports. Listen, now the name of the show is Let's Talk Sports with Richard Cole, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. This supporting cast that works with me, man, look, they deserve just as much credit as I do. See, because anybody who follows me know that the first thing I do is I talk about anything other than sports. And I chose tonight to talk about my supporting cast. Now, small, but very, very powerful. So about 7 months ago, 6, 7 months ago, a good friend of mine, Rashard, we call him Rabbit. I called him on the phone and I say, bruh, listen, man, I've been crushing it on the NFL. It's not very much I don't know about sports. And I see all these guys starting these podcasts, this, and then I'm like, man, I could do that. I could do this. And I'm thinking he's gonna say, nah, man, look, you have your business, I have my business, and we don't have that much time for this, man. But instead, this dude gets like real excited. Like, I think you should do that. I think you should do it, man. I think you got something people want to hear. And you definitely know the games. And I'm saying to myself, okay, I really was expecting you to kind of like talk me out of it because I know how much freaking work that's going to be. And this dude is just pumped. I mean, every day he's calling me, look, I was thinking about this the other day. But this guy introduced the show. And let me explain something to y'all. Every single show that appears on this show that started from the beginning, what I call my day ones, none of these guys get paid for this. This is across the board. All the work that goes into this, it's across the board. This podcast is not generating enough funds to pay anybody. Like I think Ryan Clark called it poor mouth, a poor mouth podcast. These guys do it for free. And so I want y'all to do this for me. If you're watching this podcast and you're following us, y'all need to give mad props to my boy Rod, to my boy Richard Rabbit, and I'm also going to bring up my boy Raya. He think I forgot about him. I haven't. These are mad supporters of the show that doesn't get paid for it at all. But yet they work their butt off every single week, correcting me, telling me what words I shouldn't say. We should add this. We should take that away. My boy Rod, well, he gonna come on later in the show. He wouldn't have got him a microphone. We are literally committed to making this show work because we got something to say. So I don't know about you guys, but if you don't have a supporting cast like that, and you don't have really a supporting cast, let me explain something to you. The most powerful thing in the world is people that are around you to tell you the truth about what makes. Hold on, you send me that across. It's like what makes this show special is those guys around me. You saying it to me, Rashard, because it'll make it better, or what are you saying that for? Before I go into any part of the show. Okay, all right. Hold on, guys. I want to take care of something technical real quick. It'll take 2 seconds because we want you guys to hear this and hear it well. All right, so sorry about that little interruption, but we're back now. Listen, first and foremost, what we want to talk about tonight, I got to get it off my chest, and after I get it off my chest, I'm gonna bring my boy Rod on. But y'all need to hear me and hear me closely when I say this. That's just straight BS what they did to Draymond Green. Now, for those of you who are just joining on the show, we're getting ready to talk about Draymond Green. We're getting ready to talk about a lot of different stuff. Now, you're going to see me get real, real serious about this. Why am I serious? First of all, I'm a Golden State Warrior fan. Second of all, I'm a Draymond Green fan. Third of all, I think this is just straight BS. So, why am I saying this to y'all? If you've been watching anything with ESPN or any sporting event or anything like that, they brought up Draymond Green, it's the bonus. So I'm gonna say it like this: anybody who's played basketball before knows that whatever level you bring it, whether that's on an amateur level or pro level, whatever level you bring it, I'm gonna match your energy. If you want to bring in that dirty play, I'm gonna match that energy with dirty play. And whatever you do is gonna be a part of the game. Somebody messaged me about the Draymond Green incident and told me stomping somebody is not a part of the game. Yeah, but when somebody's holding your leg and they have been doing things to you the entire series, eventually you just gonna give them the same type of energy. I have no regrets that Draymond Green put his chest in his sternum and he was faking. He's not hurt. Ain't nothing wrong with him. This dude just used a very savvy move on Draymond, and it very seldom happens. But I gotta give him his credit. He did his thing. His gamesmanship was on point. Rod, you know how I feel about this. With this, I'm gonna bring my boy Rod Matthews on. He knows how I feel about this. This is a Golden State hater, but he gonna always be honest. He gonna always tell the truth. Rod, what's going on, man?
Oh man, everything is good, man. It's always great to be here as usual. And you know, that suspension of Draymond Green was totally justifiable, bro. Come on, you know that.
What?
Come on, bro. This man stepped in this man's chest. He did a kickflip off this man's chest.
You're telling me
that was justified? Come on.
You're gonna tell me you're gonna come on this show and try to get me to agree with you about Draymond Green? It wasn't just
absolutely. Come on, you're biased, man. You're biased.
Rod,
biased.
You and I both know
we Golden State Warriors fan. We all
yes, I am. Yes, I am. Rod. Yeah. Okay.
He got kicked out of the game because he did a kickflip off the man's chest.
Let me
go ahead.
No. Let me explain something for all of those who don't understand where I'm coming from. I am not saying that Draymond Green shouldn't have got ejected from that game. Let's get that straight. What I am saying is, and Rod, you know this, if you don't bring that energy back to them, it would never get noticed. And that's what Draymond Green's whole objective was. I'm gonna put my foot in your chest so everybody can see that you're constantly holding somebody, whether it's the feet, the arms, you're crashing down, you're doing all these dirty things, and now you're gonna say Draymond is the bad guy? No, listen, I get it, Rod. I understand. He shouldn't have put his foot in that man's chest. I get that. Okay.
Not just what I'm saying. Chest, he did a kickflip off his chest.
I'm not saying that couldn't have been avoided, Rod. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he shouldn't even got suspended that night. What I am saying is he shouldn't have got suspended for another game.
His actions after that occurred, the way he interacted with the fans, all the histrionics, with the commissioner in the audience, right? That's like you acting a fool with your mom in the room.
I get you. I get you. I get. What you're saying is his sportsmanship was being tested, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, you saying that he should have had a cooler heads prevail, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, I agree with you, but I disagree with you too. Let me explain. Okay. If this was one incident, then you are 100% right. But I've watched the video, brother. I've looked at just the bonus for both games. It's only so much dirt you can deal with. I don't care how mentally strong you are. If you're going to the referees and saying this dude is doing this dude, then why are you not calling it? It's just going to be a matter of time before, you know what? I'm just going to explode. And I support because I've done it. I mean, come on, Rod. You're going to tell me you've never been in a situation where you feel like there's no way out? So you know what? I'm going to stick my foot in his chest. I bet you they'll listen to me now.
History has dictated his punishment, right? This is not the first time Draymond Green has been flagged for a dirty play in the playoffs. So
I get you.
His history dictates that he get this suspension. Totally justified.
Okay. Do he get the suspension now? Why the suspension don't come to next year? Why couldn't it come to next year?
He'll come in the next year. He got a game coming up next. It's this game. You just don't want to see him go down 3-0. That's the problem.
Listen to me, Rod. The Golden State Warriors are not going to lose to the Sacramento Kings tonight. Without Draymond Green. I know everybody is confident on that. Dude, I've seen Golden State play without Draymond. Believe me, they can. I mean, I'm just telling you, they can. Will they miss him? Absolutely. But what you got to understand is you're dealing with two of the best scorers ever to play the game. And you and I both know if those boys start doing their thing, it's a wrap. So you and I are going to disagree on the Draymond Green thing. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to disagree with you. Yes, I seen the antics after the game, after the ejection. He did the antics. I also seen what the crowd was saying to him. Now, if you're going to throw the fans out for some of the things that they're saying, you cannot expect Draymond Green not to retaliate. And Draymond Green has never been one to back down on anything. What Draymond Green did the other night is Draymond Green. That's no different. But what Sabonis did is underhanded, sneaky, and he's going to get commended for it. And you know what really made me mad, Rod? When they asked him, did you grab his foot? You know what he said? He didn't answer the phone. He said, I just did whatever it takes to win a basketball game.
They're playing hard basketball. Doing a kick flip off a chest is not hard basketball. That's different.
I think that those losses to the Cleveland Cavaliers, when Golden State just completely bust them up for them 4 years and stuff, I think it really left a lasting impression on you because you really have a problem with the Golden State Warriors. You're going to sit here and tell me that it's okay to grab somebody's foot while they're in midstream, knowing it can do damage.
Nobody. They didn't start. He got called. He got a technical foul.
He should have got a flagrant one at least.
No, man, come on. A little grab of the foot, that was not a big deal.
And all them other umpteen fouls that he didn't committed during the series. I don't know what you call this dude. This dude
irrelevant.
Ladies and gentlemen, those who are watching this show, let me explain something to y'all. This is historic because Ron and I very seldom disagree, but we disagree tonight. But let me tell you why. It's because I'm biased to Golden State, and he's biased to being a hater of Golden State. Listen, man, they said Draymond Green should not have been suspended for that other game. He should have been kicked out. He should have been ejected, but he shouldn't have been suspended. You hurt them that way. What are you trying to hurt the Golden State Warriors for, by the way?
No, Draymond Green hurt them, not the referees, right? Same thing. When they came back from 3-1 on, with the Cavs. When the Cavs came down from 3-1, when he did the histrionics against LeBron,
you know what? I think you need some therapy about those series, dude. you really have a problem with how Golden State treated Cleveland. You have a problem with it.
They won. So I wasn't too.
No, they didn't just win. They just kept winning. It just kept winning. It was, we can't even call it a rivalry because they beat them like 3 times to 1. I mean, like it was pretty ugly. But I think it left a trauma on you. You have some type of trauma about it.
I'm just a realist, man. I'm just a realist, brother. That's all.
Okay, so let's be real then. Why the extra game? So Draymond never. If Sabonis never grabs his leg, this never happened. So why the extra game? Draymond didn't start this; he just finished it.
Yeah, but he went the extra mile. Like I said, he would have just probably got tossed from the game had he not done all the stuff on the sidelines that he did. That's really what got him that 1-game suspension. It's his actions on the sideline after the game. If it was just stepping on the chest, all right, let's toss him from the game, but he'd probably be back the next game. But with all the extra antics, that's what did it for him.
Listen, Golden State has dominated the NBA for way too long. And I truly believe the NBA is just jealous of it. Every year, everybody comes in, and you know what? One team that they're gonna be saying that is in the top echelon every single year, Golden State
LeBron is
on. Say what?
Whatever team LeBron is on.
Look, LeBron got his hand full. LeBron's got his hand full too. We're gonna talk about that on another show. But
all right.
I'm just letting y'all know. Rod thinks that Draymond Green, for all those who are watching or who's going to come on next, I mean, we're gonna watch it later. Those guys, Rod believes that Draymond Green's suspension was just, and I believe that the NBA and Rod is full of crap. I mean, like, that's you or nobody else that wants to jump on a podcast is going to convince me that what Draymond did was not considered. Okay. Let's look at all the other athletes, all the other basketball players around the NBA chiming in on this subject. What are they all saying? Is any one of them saying anything about Sabonis um, in a positive way? Man, let me tell y'all something. Y'all hear me out with this. What Sabonis is doing is like a tidbit of what the Detroit Pistons did back in the days. He'll call it mental warfare, and we'll give him credit for it. But the truth of the matter is he can't hang with Looney nor Draymond, and that's his problem. Because you really don't need those antics. If you could, after game one and they embarrassed him, had him falling down all over himself. I guess in game two, he just said, hell, I'm going to grab him. I mean, like, that's what I'm going to do. Listen, I have anybody want to come on this show and try to convince me that Draymond Green should have been suspended, you're wrong for that. I guarantee you I can find some type of agenda or bias that's in it. Because anybody who played the game of basketball knows, if you freaking hold me or grab me for too long, I'm going to retaliate, especially if the referee is not listening to me. So professional or not, anybody who's being honest know that's going to happen. And Sabonis even knew it was going to happen. That's why he kept doing it. So y'all say what y'all want to say.
He knows what hard-nosed play is. He knows what hard-nosed play is. And he knows how to walk up to the line without crossing it. That's what he did. He walked up to the line, and Draymond just stepped all over it.
And you know what's funny? You actually believe this BS you saying. You believe it. You actually believe this crap. I'm looking at you. I'm like, he's really, really trying to sell me on this.
That's real talk, man. I'm trying to get you to see the light, brother.
Rod, listen to me. Let's just take the Golden State. I'm a Golden State fan out of it. All right, let's just take it out.
It's hard to do, but we'll take it out.
Let's take the NBA out of it.
Okay.
Let's just go to basketball. Okay. Sandlot on the concrete or in the YMCA. Hardcore, we playing the game, right? So this guy constantly is fouling you, and you constantly telling him, brother, listen, I feel we want to win the game, but you keep hitting me in my chest with your elbow. I'm going to ask you to stop doing that. This guy does it again. After you didn't ask him, and this time when you say, hey, man, remember the elbows, and he looks at you and say, man, this is a physical game. Now you tell me, Rod, you're not gonna bring that same. You got two choices: either bring the same energy, or walk off the court and say you don't want to play no more. Which one you do?
Well, if we're at the wire, we probably fighting. That's another story.
Now you see. This is what I was saying on my reels. This is what I was saying to people. Anybody who's played that game, whether they played it on the amateur level or professional level, understand the gamesmanship that Sabonis is using on Draymond, and Draymond has used it on people. So when you get stomped in the chest and you want to say, oh, my chest is hurting, you're full of crap. It didn't hurt, but it did let you know that I'm done with that. You accomplished your goal.
That man wasn't hurting. How you gonna say that man wasn't
that dude wasn't hurting?
I felt it through the TV myself. That was painful, man.
Rod, when that dude got up, the next play he dunked.
I mean,
give me a break with that.
You can dunk with your chest hurting. Come on, bro.
This dude here is something. Y'all hold on for a second. I don't think this thing is a damn ambulance gonna come by. You telling me this dude is gonna hold on to that bullcrap?
That just shows the toughness of Sabonis. He could dunk after being stepped on in the chest. Come on.
I hope, as we're going to get into in a few minutes, that Golden State stomp a mud hole in Sacramento tonight. 50 points won't be enough. I'm just telling you. I mean, so, guys, if you're just jumping on, we're talking about the road to the NBA Finals, and we're speaking on the Draymond Green incident. And I'm here to tell y'all right now, we do not agree. And I'm going to say this for the record. My boy, we had a chance in to talk. He knows as well as I know exactly what I'm saying, but I do understand where you're coming from. He should have kept his head. And if he kept his head and walked his black behind out when he got ejected, none of this probably wouldn't have happened. We'll never know. Sacramento has an advantage, just like the Lakers had an advantage last night, just like Miami had an advantage. You saw what happened to them, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It might be a trend. It might not. We'll see tonight at 9 o'clock. Look, with that being said, for those of you guys who are jumping on or getting ready to jump on, we we have a special guest that's getting ready to join us. I don't see him popping up on the screen yet, but I don't know if he's here. But I expect that he'll be here because he's supposed to be here in like 1 minute. But until he get here, let me tell you how this all transpired. We did a show. Rod and I and Rashard, we were all doing the show, and me and Rod was having a discussion about the Denver Nuggets, which is what one of the things that we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about the Denver Nuggets. It's the last team we're going to talk about. We're getting ready to talk about the Golden State Warriors, but before we do, we were having a conversation about the Denver Nuggets, and we kind of hinted around that the Denver Nuggets, well, okay, they were soft. I mean, they were soft. They were paper champions, so to speak. It's not saying that they're not a good team because they are. What we're saying is we don't see them going that deep into the playoffs. We definitely don't see them going to the NBA finals or anything like that. But when we did that, we caught the attention of one of Denver's biggest fans. And he hit me up and said, hey, man, we should do a collaboration. And with that collaboration, that brings us to tonight. So what's going to happen next, guys, is we're getting ready to talk about the Golden State Warriors. We've already talked about Draymond Green. And when the guests jump on, I'm going to finish their introduction. But right now, I want to talk about the Golden State Warriors. Rob, let me ask you this now. Here's Mr. Bias. I don't like Golden State. This is Mr. Bias right here, so y'all just get ready. You like Kendrick Perkins Jr.
Not quite that bad.
You ain't that bad. All right, I won't put you to Kendrick Perkins, but it is obvious that Kendrick Perkins doesn't like the Golden State Warriors, and he for good reason. I mean, he paid for OKC when Golden State was busting him up. I mean, I get that. I mean, that's something you never get over watching. You know, just thinking about Steph Curry busting them threes and Klay Thompson hitting 14 threes on you. I mean, I know it's hard, yeah, but you're not that bad. You still suffer from the Cleveland debacle. You know, LeBron James probably or considered one of if considered the best player in the world, or one of the best players in the world. And you're a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't dislike LeBron at all. I just prefer Steph Curry. But the Golden State Warriors have been rolled off, even by you. You're done with them. You believe they'll lose Game 3, and you believe that they're going to lose this series. Is that not the correct assessment?
I see the brooms, brother.
Say what?
I see the brooms being broken out.
This
dustpans. Where's the dustpans? They got dustpans in Sacramento.
Let it be known that Rod actually think the Golden State Warriors are going to be swept by the Sacramento.
He's never been down 2-0 ever.
Had never been down 3-1 either.
And you saw what happened.
Yeah, I saw them make it to the NBA Finals. But they didn't win the NBA Finals, but
they needed one more game.
Hey, look, I got it. Cleveland came back and won that one. That's the last one they won, but that's you know, they got that one. But do you really underestimate the Golden State Warriors that way?
I mean, from just looking at what I see on the floor right now, Jordan Poole, man, is not bringing what he brought to the team last year. And that's really kind of hurting him, to be honest.
We agree with that one.
So when Steph goes to the bench, used to be, there was no drop-off hard. There was very little drop-off when Steph used to go to the bench. There is a huge drop-off now when Steph goes to the bench.
It's almost like he's playing. Jordan Poole. It's like he's playing around. Because I don't understand what you're smiling. What you smiling about? Your defense is horrible. Your shooting is horrible.
He's not making shots. I mean, he used to, be confident taking the ball to the basket. I don't really know what's going on. He really regressed. They gave him
It's
some
not.
money, and he
I don't
took a
think.
step back.
I don't think it's a regression because he hadn't played like this all year. I think it is a immature level. I think you're immature, and I think you're overconfident. I think you believe that you're playing with the best shooter to ever live, two of them, and you believe that nobody can beat them. But I think after game two, I think somebody gave him the memo. Hey, 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 we are about to lose the series. Like I honestly, I believe the Draymond Green Jordan Poole incident came because of his immaturity. I see his immaturity on the bench. I see his immaturity in the games. Now this is during the regular season, and I really see his immaturity since the playoffs start.
Mm-hmm.
I even made a video about it because I'm not. I mean, I'm a Golden State fan, but I'm gonna always speak the truth. And the truth is, one of the biggest reasons they're hurting right now is Jordan Poole. He's the difference. If he just hit his average, they beat Sacramento both times. But he's not hitting his average. So now, what's gonna happen? I have no earthly idea. As you can see, I'm looking at my boy Chris, who's getting ready to jump on. We're talking about the Golden State Warriors. And Chris, I do want your take on this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris from Action Labs. I have mad respect from him. I don't know if you know this. I've actually went and watched a few of his shows. And every single time I watch this show, I learn something. See, I'm in entertainment business. Chris is in entertainment business. Rod, my producer, Rabbit. We're all in entertainment business. If I can't get something from your show, I'm probably not going to watch your show. And what I get from Chris' show is knowledge. I mean, knowledge to the top of the level, to the point where I was just excited to hear what he feels about the Golden State Warriors. But before we do that, Chris, if you don't mind, man, introduce yourself. Tell us about your show. I want people to be able to come watch your show because I really enjoy it. Can you hear me, Rashard? Chris, can you hear me? Chris, you there? I can't hear Chris or Rashard. Hello? Yeah, hold on for a second. Rashard, you there? Can you? We can't hear him. He's talking, Rashard. I think he thinks we can hear him. You got, huh? You can hear him? Okay. Hey, Chris, we can't hear you. Rod, say something. Hey, Chris, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Hey, Chris, we can't hear you.
Check 1, 2.
Yeah, I'm
Check
here. I
1,
can
2.
hear. Hey, Richard, can you? I don't know, Chris. Can you hear us? We can't hear you. He can hear us, but we can't hear him. I don't know if you know, Richard. He's still talking.
He's probably trying to correct whatever sound issue he's having.
Y'all hang tight. My boy Chris is about to get on here. We're gonna talk some basketball. Hey, Chris, if you can hear us, why don't you go back out and come back in and see if that'll work? Because we can't hear you. I can't text him, Richard, because I'm using my phone. So Say what now? Okay. All right, so check this out. We're trying to get some things taken care of so we can bring our boy Chris home. But back to the Warriors. Now, this dude is sitting in front of me, Rod, is telling me that the Warriors are done. He's saying the Warriors are going to lose game 3 and game 4, and they're going to be swept. The world champions, Golden State, always doubted Warriors, are going to go out in 4. Now, you know good and damn well that Golden State got too much pride to go out in 4. I still have. Oh, you, you think that
Pride doesn't play defense.
you think that the Sacramento Kings has more talent than the Golden State Warriors?
They got younger, fresher legs.
No, I tell you what Sacramento has right now. They have a 2-0 lead and a lot of confidence. Because don't get it
Absolutely.
twisted. The Sacramento Kings still can't play no defense, and they're gonna be exposed before this series is out.
You know
Now,
what? In the playoffs, Mike Brown has got them to make the commitment to at least try to play defense, at least give the semblance of them playing some defense. So they have been doing that. They have been doing a good job of at least standing in front of somebody. They weren't even doing that in the regular season.
well,
Now
hell,
they
they don't have to
stand in
do,
front of you.
bro. They don't have to do too much of nothing. Golden State giving them 10 turnovers a game. They just give it to
That's
them.
Golden State's MO. That's
I mean,
been their MO. But they've
don't
been
get,
good enough. Their shooting and defense has been good enough to overcome that. Now
yeah,
it's not.
but I mean,
Those turnovers is what's going to get them with the dustpans in Sacramento.
well, that's a good point. But here's the thing: what if they don't turn it over?
I mean, you know, what if they hit every 3-pointer? You know, what if they hit every free throw? I mean, what if?
No. I don't need them to hit every 3-pointer. I just need them to run somewhere around 51%. That's it.
You see what Steph is shooting? Man,
in every scene.
Those young boys are gonna run Steph to death. You saw he could get to the rim, but he was too tired to even shoot threes the other night because he had to go so much. So when those youngsters with those young legs, man, those young legs, brother.
Yeah, look, I know them young legs, and they got some great shoes, and they can hold pretty good too, coming off them screens.
Hey, it's the playoffs. You got to use every trick imaginable to get the advantage.
You watch how timid they are when the referees start calling them hoes off them screens. You watch what?
It's the playoffs, man. They swallow those whistles in the playoffs.
I promise you, tonight, tonight, the referee gonna call them fouls on them for holding off the screens, and watch how Steph and them light them up. Like, look, you can only get away with grabbing and pulling and pushing for so long. Eventually, the referee is gonna be like, you know what? No, and then you're gonna find out they can't play any defense. If you letting them get away with stuff like that, of course they can play great defense. Now, all of a sudden, Sacramento ain't playing no defense all year. Now, all of a sudden, they got a great defense. Give me a break.
Playoffs, man. Mike Brown, he knows what flip to switch, what switch to flip. I mean, it's Mike Brown. Give it to him. He's a defensive coach.
Yeah, you know I'm gonna text you tonight, right? You know,
just say, man, text me with all that frustration. Man, if Draymond would have been in the game, we probably would have had a chance to win. I can hear it already.
No, not gonna happen. Rashard, did we get anything figured out? Because I'm gonna move on to Denver. Okay. Chris!
What?
Yes.
My man. Just in time.
Yes, in time. I didn't want you to talk about the doggone Warriors anyway. I heard enough about the Warriors in the last 2 days. All y'all gonna be sucking wind when this series is over. That's all I'm gonna say about that. What I want to talk about, Chris.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I want everybody to know from Let's Talk Sports. I've watched Chris' podcast. If you guys haven't watched his podcast, I'm encouraging you to do that. If you want to look at somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, watch his podcast. I watched your podcast from start to finish. It was dead interesting. What you were saying, and I'm gonna be honest, I ain't agree with everything you said, but you had my Warriors ranked 10th. I literally almost came through the screen on that video. I mean, I was like, did he just say freaking 10th? I mean, but anyway, but your point that you were made, I actually agree with pretty much every one of them, other than when you was talking about the Warriors, but everything else. So let's start with this because we had some issues, and I want to jump right into it. First, I want you to tell everybody, we know Denver Nuggets are your team, is no secret. What we want you to tell us is why you believe the Denver Nuggets are not only going to get out of, I know they're going to get out of this series, but you believe that they're going to the finals. Tell us why.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me on. I mean, I checked out your show. It's okay. I jumped through my screen listening to a couple of your Nuggets takes, so it goes both ways. It's all good. Yeah, y'all didn't even know they made it to the Western Conference Finals at one point. I was like, oh no, I gotta come on. I gotta talk to these guys. No, but no, yeah, we have our show. Me and my brother-in-law started it up, and we're sports fanatics across the board, everything. But we're big into basketball. The basketball is my home. That's my love. That's my passion. I love NFL. I love baseball. I love hockey, whatever. But basketball's kind of been my bread and butter. So, my Nuggets are always going to be the love of my life. And, I just think that they're in a position this year to absolutely do more in the playoffs than they ever have in the past. This is the best roster they've ever had constructed. This is going back to the old days when they had, the Chauncey Billups, Carmelo Anthony that made it to the Western Conference Finals. This is better than the Iverson, Carmelo Anthony tandem. I mean, the way it's constructed now, there's no denying that this team has everything that it takes to make a run in the Western Conference. And they did it from start to finish this year. We battled through MVP conversations. I know you guys have probably talked a lot about the MVP race. I'm sick of it. I'm over it myself. Hey, it's more pressure on now. Embiid can have all the pressure now. He can take it because he's not going to get. He's not going to get into the Eastern Conference Finals this year. So if he wants to hand that off, but based off of just the acquisitions over the offseason that the Nuggets put together to build around Jokic, Murray, and MPJ, it was just they focused on that 3-and-D kind of mentality. They got Bruce Brown, they got KCP in the mix, and that's really helped them over the course of the regular season. This is the best shooting team in the NBA from a field goal perspective. They're one of the top 3-point shooting teams in the NBA. They lack a little bit on defense, but over the course of the season, they went from being 26th in the league in defense all the way back up to being hovering at the end of the season around 10th to 12th in defense in the NBA. I mean, that's a nice transition. It's better to go that way than the opposite direction. So, I wasn't worried about Minnesota. I was worried actually more about the Pelicans than any other team. Pelicans, Lakers are not great matchups for what we have to defend for some of those matchups especially in the forward and center positions. But I figured this Minnesota game, this Minnesota series was going to kind of go this direction. We were watching live last night when they made that drastic comeback, and I was losing my mind. But I mean, I was because this is kind of the MO of what the Nuggets have done over the last 2 or 3 seasons, and gaining big leads and then giving them all back, and then you work so hard for that lead, and now it's just disintegrated and before your eyes. But I think the difference this year is we haven't had Jamal Murray for 2 years. He's back, and we haven't really seen Jamal Murray since Bubble Murray. Bubble Murray was one of the best players in the NBA across the board in that short period of time in the bubble.
That's when I started noticing it.
He was incredible.
I mean, he's a great shooter. Look, I can't take any. I'm gonna be honest with you. Murray is a great shooter. Help me out here. You're small forward. What's his name? Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr.
Okay.
Michael Porter Jr. is so underrated.
Yep.
I really, really wish the Nuggets would let this. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. The reason I say Michael Porter Jr. is underrated because Michael Porter Jr. strives under pressure. Now, I'm sorry to say I don't know if Murray would strive under the same type of pressure. And when I say pressure, I'm talking about on the road. I'm not talking about at home. When your shot is not going, will you adjust to do other things to help the team and not get frustrated? Because last night, this is what I see. Not only were you panicking, they were panicking. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't give the Timberwolves a game and still don't. I really don't. I didn't give them one game in this series. But after last night, they ran out of gas. The Timberwolves just got gassed trying to come back from that big deficit. And when they came back, they didn't have enough to finish it. But Murray's shooting was ridiculous. I mean, he was just lighting them up. Can Murray be that consistent? for the remainder of the playoffs.
I mean, here's the thing. I think that he has all the tools and all the capabilities to carry on with what he's been doing. I think that they prioritized resting him a lot over the course of the season, getting him off that rust that he had over the course of the last probably I would say month and a half of the season, where he had struggled shooting. He had issues getting back into the rotation, getting into the swing of things, getting on that pick and roll with Joker that has been so lethal over the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, it's been almost unguardable, that pick and roll, and which it hasn't necessarily come back as much as I would have I want it to right now, but it's still the things that we saw last night changed the way I thought about this team, because in going into these playoffs, there was no indication of what we were going to see from Murray. We didn't know if he's going to be able to put up 25, 30 points. We didn't know if he's feeling good enough to and brushed off the rust to get to a 40-point game. Last night kind of showed that we have the capability to lean on him with a hurting Jokic. Jokic has a little issue with his wrist. All right. Well, he doesn't need to be the go-to guy. And he wasn't last night. For the most part, he still finished almost with a triple-double, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. So taking pressure off of Jokic and having to carry that team, which is what he's had to do over the last 2 years in the playoffs, is a breath of fresh air. First of all, Michael Porter Jr. has been the best spot-up shooter in the NBA. I think he's like top 2 statistically spot-up shooter in the NBA. So that takes a little pressure off Jokic as well. Then you have the role players that don't necessarily need the ball, but can put up points. You have Christian Brown off the bench, who's been a rookie that is actually contributing in Michael Malone's offense, which is shocking, but he actually is leading on a rookie in the playoffs. Go figure. But yeah, I think there's a lot of pieces that weren't in place in the last 2 seasons that are now, and the wild cards with Murray and MPJ contributing. That's something we haven't seen before. And that's something that all teams need to be looking out for, because you can't double Jokic because he gets the ball out and he gets the ball to people who can shoot threes. And then how do you guard everybody else on the rotations? It's just too difficult. For a lot of teams.
I gotta say this. My boy Rod and I was holding a conversation about the Denver Nuggets on one of our shows, and we both feel this way. Everything that you're seeing, Chris, is our own point. Okay? Cannot argue. We're not going to even try to argue. We're not going to dispute it. The biggest issue Rod and I have with Denver Nuggets is simple. We don't believe they're tough enough. We don't believe. We know they have talent. That we're not taking that from them. We just don't believe they're tough enough. We don't believe that when it gets deep into the playoffs and it gets real critical and you got to play the Lakers, or you got to play the Phoenix Suns, or you got to play the Clippers. If you have to play any of those teams, or you tough enough, Rod, I know you want to speak on that, because that's what we were saying. We weren't saying Denver was a bad team. We just said they weren't tough enough.
Everything you said, like Rich said, was valid, except the fact that you left out that their whole foundation is built on cotton balls and jelly donuts.
Wait. Are we talking about Jokic, or are we talking about the team as a whole? What are we talking about?
The team as a whole, man.
Right. He's a Laker fan. He's a Laker fan.
You want? Hey, what was that performance? That performance of AD was a bunch of donuts last night, wasn't it?
Hey, come on, we already know he's kind of soft. I mean, it's not. You don't hurt me. You don't hurt my feelings about that. I already know. I do acknowledge the truth. I was happy to see him come back from the game in game 1. Come back into the game after halftime.
Sure,
but the Nuggets themselves, man, I think it's fool's gold. Number one, you get excited about them doing that to the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. Come on, the Timberwolves. I think the LSU women's team could beat them.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. Now, wait a minute. Now, here's the thing. Let's get something straight from the record. I'm a Golden State Warrior fan. Rod is a Laker fan. Chris, you're a Nugget fan. Now, technically speaking, none of us should get along. But I got to say this. What my biggest thing with Denver when I watch Denver is, it's not that Denver is a bad team at all. Like, Denver really is exciting to watch. Not playing against the Timberwolves. I'm talking about other people when they played against Golden State, when they played against tougher teams. I enjoy watching Denver. That's why I say everything that you said was on point. What I don't believe is, I believe on that team until, let me put it this way, until Murray showed me that he can actually go into a hostile environment when everything is on the line and perform like he did last night. That's what I believe. I believe that if you take Joker away, that becomes just an average team. So, and until he get, that's why I like Michael Porter Jr., because Michael Porter Jr. seems like he has that about him. Like another, oh, you want to double team my boy? I'll light you up. And I just don't know if Murray can do that. That's why I say I don't think the Nuggets are tough enough. Because you know as well as I know, Chris, it's going to take 3 to get to an NBA Finals. It's going to take 3 consistent scores to get to an NBA Finals. The scoring got to come from somewhere. We depending on, like the Denver fans I know are depending on Murray. The Denver fans I know are depending on Jokic, right? And I know the only question mark in the big 3, it ain't Michael Porter Jr., because every time I see this kid, he lighting it up. I think he's averaging something like 17, 18 points a game. I believe he can average more. And I believe he's capable of hitting 30 in a night. That's what I'm watching, because I just don't think Murray would do it. That's why I don't have the Denver Nuggets winning deep into the playoffs. I'm not saying that they're not good. Everything they're a very talented team. They should be the number 1 seed because they were beating people. But can they do it on the road in Phoenix? Can they do it on the road in Los Angeles? Can they do it on the road in Sacramento or Golden State or Los Angeles? Can they go into those hostile environments and show everybody that they can win games like that? Dude, that's where me and Rod have a difference with the Denver Nuggets in. It's not anything else. That's why I want to ask you, do you believe, y'all hold on for a second. But everybody dead tonight? This is ridiculous.
Baton Rouge, man, it's a hot zone.
I mean, so do you understand where we're coming from, Chris?
No. I get the skepticism, because the skepticism comes from across everybody. We hear it all year long about what the Nuggets really are, right? We haven't seen this full team together in the playoffs ever. Like they haven't been in the last 2 years. They have not been in this playoff mix. Now we are seeing things that we didn't think we'd see last time. I know Murray can put it on in the bubble in the playoffs because he did it in the bubble. And I know the bubble's kind of it's a one-off. There's not like crazy crowds or anything else. I get that. But the fact that he could do it away from home, outside of an environment that is positive for him, one, that's a way that you could just say, all right, neutral environment, sure, he can handle it, but he can handle adversity against any team. He was making shots last night. He's got a swagger to him that he hasn't had because he's been hurt for 2 years. He hasn't been in that mental state. I'm not worried about Jamal Murray. I'm not worried about Michael Porter Jr. melting. He's had it all year long. Michael Porter Jr. has been one of those guys as well that's like, oh, he's a finesse player. I don't know how he's going to hold up. He's got the back issues. How is he going to outlast? Well, he's done it all season long, and he's been one of the best shooters in the NBA. Now, toughness-wise, like the Nuggets have been battle-tested in the playoffs. They've been in the playoffs. They've made it a couple rounds here and there to where they know what to expect. They're well coached with Michael Malone. They know what to expect from that standpoint, from just the toughness, the whistles. Jokic is always a target when it comes to fouls. All of that is well established. That doesn't change the fact that this team can't go in and first of all, outshoot you. Shooting is massive in the playoffs. I mean, ask the Golden State Warriors, ask some of these teams that really rely on shooting, maybe not so much on defense, but they're really good shooting. And it gets them through series. When balls aren't dropping for the other team, the best shooting team comes through. And that's what the Nuggets have done all season long. The best field goal percentage shooting team in the NBA. They have outlasted. They have some of the best against 500 teams. Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia. They've had some great success against some of the top teams in the NBA. Now, there are matchup issues. I'm not going to lie. There are matchup issues that I am not looking forward to. I know the Lakers are tough. There's things that we struggle with Anthony Davis. There's things we struggle with guarding the Warriors or some of these other teams in certain aspects. But this year, defending the 3-point line, has been one of the strategies that the Nuggets have put together. They have been the best team. I think they're like top 2 or 3 in the league in defending 3-point. So, I feel better about going into a Golden State matchup. We got some size. We got a little bit we can throw at AD. Plus, I don't know how much AD could hold up over the course of a physical series. They have a physical series right now. I think they win that series. I'm not going to say that the Memphis Grizzlies are anything special. They've been my most overrated team. But that's a physical series that's going to take its toll on them. So will they be able to hold up over the course of the playoffs? And we've seen injuries, to that team, historically. So I don't worry about the physical nature of what the Nuggets can handle or can't handle. I think they can, and I think they're one of the best teams left in the playoffs, knowing they're doing what they need to do right now, and that's win games dominant fashion as a 1 seed.
Well, you women, hold on. Not to cut you off, but I gotta say this, Rod. Yeah, do you agree with what he's saying about the Lakers? Because you truly believe that the Denver Nuggets would lose to the Lakers in the series. Now, we all agree that Memphis is probably going to lose this series. Everybody has that agreement. But do you believe the Lakers can beat the Nuggets? I do believe that they cause major problems for the Nuggets.
It's a terrible matchup. They have no matchup for AD whatsoever.
It's a little tougher with AD. From an athletic standpoint, we saw that even in the bubble. A little bit back.
And then you keep talking about the bubble, man. You ever heard? I got one word for you: T.J. Warren. He was the bubble all-star. I mean, he was the MVP of the bubble. Have you heard it from T.J. Warren again? No. So, so what somebody did in the bubble, I don't care.
Except for the
Lakers winning the championship. Except for the Lakers winning the championship, of course.
But I was just going to say, well, so you cared about the Lakers winning the championship in the bubble, but you don't want nobody else to talk about the bubble. Listen,
I mean, come on.
Let me help everybody out. I gave no respect to the bubble season. None. Zero. None.
We got our
no team.
Championship.
I don't care who it was.
LeBron championship.
You guys know that the crowd makes a difference in a game. And I know y'all know this. So if you don't have that fan base behind you and that pumping in your ear and you still busting threes when you're down by 2 and it's 30 seconds left in the game and you're on the road and you hit that 3 and the arena just goes silent, that's where the crowd comes in at. So it has to be a part. Just like when I hear Chris talking and I hear you talking, Rod, I know you're biased, but Chris is not hiding anything. When I hear you guys talk, to me, all I hear is, okay, you're hoping. You're hoping. The Lakers and the Denver Nuggets play each other. I have no idea who's going to win that series. I really don't. Because I saw the Lakers yesterday and I saw the Denver Nuggets truly panic last night. I saw that. So until I see them play like I believe they can play like Denver played in game 1, which can't really judge Denver because the freaking Timberwolves play horrible. I mean, so I want to see them with the Timberwolves playing good and they're playing good. Then they'll beat the crap out of the Timberwolves and say, we know they're better than the Timberwolves. The Lakers lose to the freaking Memphis Grizzlies in game 2 when they was wounded. And I'm like, okay, it goes to show you, here's my thing. I believe which team out of the Lakers, the Nuggets, and the Warriors do y'all believe can handle deep into the playoffs when it's all on the line? And I got to go with the Nuggets. I got to go with the Warriors. I got to.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure you have to, Rich. You have no other option.
Well, here's the thing I have with the Warriors, and here's the thing, and I want to ask your opinion on what you think moving forward, depending on what they come out of this series or not. I think that the Warriors have some deeper issues when it comes to the roster construction. That, they're a very good team. Don't get me wrong. I think that they struggled on the road a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot.
A lot.
So, with them being a top seed or a bottom seed, they have to travel on the road a lot. They have not performed well. But the thing with the Warriors is, obviously you got Draymond. I love Draymond, but, offensively, I think the Warriors, to have like a guy like the size, you need to get more out of your younger guys. Like, I feel like you're not getting as much production from the younger guys because they're not playing as much, maybe because they're not ready, but you relying on Draymond and Kayvon Looney, who, I mean, 2 guys who can score, but that's not what their job is. It's not their job to put up 20 points a game. That's not what they're made to do. I think like getting some size for the Golden State Warriors and getting some of those younger players to perform a little bit better. I mean, it takes a lot of pressure because then you don't, you're what? You got Clay, you got Steph. You're going to get those guys that they're going to be shooting all the time. You take away those guys, you leave just a couple bigs down low, and by bigs I mean like they're not big size wise. They play small ball all the time. So
they are known for small ball. That's how they win championships. Now wait, you're right about the size. The size has never been really an issue for Golden State. Did you see them last year against Boston? Yeah, they definitely had Boston definitely had bigger size. I mean, this is the problem with Golden State. You hit it on the head when you said the younger players.
Man.
But here's the younger player. I'm gonna call him out. The one that's sucking up this series is Jordan Poole.
He's been terrible.
That's who's sucking this series. I mean, I don't know what the hell going on with Jordan Poole.
He's supposed to be the future. He's supposed to be the future of the franchise, really.
You get all that money, and then all of a sudden you just decide to choke in the biggest series of your career, because you can't say last year. Last year, Steph had it on lock. You was just an addition. But this year, they actually need you because they don't have some of those pieces they had last year. And what do? You play no defense and you don't score.
We talked about it before, though. I think there's a weird dynamic between those young players and the older players on that team. And I think that's what really caused them to have that terrible road record. I mean, you got to be unified on the road. And I think that dynamic between those younger players, the Kuminga and Moody and Jordan Poole, between Steph and Clay and and Draymond, I think that was a weird dynamic, and it kind of showed itself when they had that the blow up between Jordan Poole and Draymond. So I think that weird dynamic is really going to hold them back. And you're right, you touched on it. Those younger players have to step up, but I don't know if they're being given the leeway by those older players to step up.
Well, they ain't got no choice tonight. They ain't got no choice. They have to step up. Steph and Clay can't do it by themselves. He's right. If you're only going to respect two scores, all they're going to do is just double team them. I mean, you're going to have to get somebody other than those two to score. And it's got to be somebody the Kings will respect. And it has to be Jordan Poole. So if it's not going to be Jordan Poole, because Kuminga, the best game he ever had was 25 points. I mean, now Kuminga can't change the momentum. You need maybe Wiggins to step up and have a 30-point game. You need somebody because you're struggling right now. Now, as far as the Lakers, and I honestly believe that we should do this again. I'm going to tell y'all why. Because here's how I think it's going to go down, and then I want to hear everybody take on this. I honestly think the Lakers are going to beat Memphis. I think I don't forgot this idiot name. I cannot stand him. People think I'm crazy when I say this. He plays for Memphis. He always got his mouth open. He actually called Memphis. Yes, he called Memphis a dynasty. I like to fill out my chair. I mean, I can't. Okay. I think he didn't woke a sleeping giant. You are literally in the face of LeBron James. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but LeBron James is kind of aging. But man, if LeBron James really wants to take over a game, I still think he has it in him. I really do. I mean, so I don't know about you, Chris, but I do. I believe LeBron can still take over a basketball game. So,
yeah. I mean, the things he's doing right now at his age is insane.
It's insane. It's like the Tom Brady of the NBA. Like, I mean, so what I'm saying is, I believe that this fool Brooks then woke a sleeping giant, and I think he's going to get the worst end of that when LeBron just takes off on him and they beat Memphis in this series. Eventually, the Memphis Grizzlies going to learn to keep their mouth shut eventually. I don't know if they didn't learn last year, so obviously they didn't learn last year because they're doing it this year. Maybe next year they'll learn to keep their mouth shut because they really are not as good as they think they are. So I'm going to leave that there. So I believe the Lakers are going to be Memphis. So that means Denver and the Lakers will be playing each other. That means if Golden State gets away from Sacramento like I think they will, they're going to be playing Phoenix or the Clippers, which I think that's going to actually be the Clippers. I don't think it's going to be the Suns. Everybody think I'm crazy, but I do. So
I hope you're right.
So because I seen the Clippers play the Phoenix Suns in game 1 and game 2, and I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I think the Clippers are going to take both games in Los Angeles. Ooh. I honestly do. I don't think Phoenix has enough. I don't think they have. I think they gave away their bench when they let Bridges go. When you get Bridges go, I said it was going to be a problem. It's a problem. I mean, you got to play all your superstars all the time, and eventually that's going to catch up with them. You just play too many back-to-back games. So That's what I mean. So I believe the Clippers are going to beat the Phoenix Suns. So I believe it could possibly come down to the Warriors and the Clippers, the Lakers and Denver. The Lakers and Denver that's going to be my solid. Now, is a chance that the Warriors may lose, and that would be Sacramento. So if Sacramento was a third seed, no, I don't think that changes anything. Sacramento would still have to go play Phoenix or the Clippers, right? So I believe you guys are going to meet. So I got to say this because we didn't keep our audience on. We had a little difficulty for more than an hour. So I got to say this. Chris, will you come back on the show if the Lakers and the Nuggets play in the next series?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I might have to come on a couple times if it gets really into it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta, hey, as long as y'all have me, I love talking hoops. You know what I'm saying?
The reason I asked you that is me and Rod, for the first time since we've been doing this podcast, finally found something we don't agree on. We don't agree on the Draymond Green suspension. We ain't gonna never agree on it. And anybody that thinks Draymond should have been suspended for one game, we ain't gonna agree, so we ain't gonna talk about it. Because whatever you can bring up, I can bring up something too. So that's the first time we ever disagreed. But I got a feeling if we let you keep coming on to the show, it's gonna be a lot of disagreements.
Oh.
It's gonna. So with that being
said, have to
said,
put a little friendly wager on that Denver Lakers.
Oh, I'm good with a wager. Actually, I have a wager on tonight's. I have a wager on tonight. Actually, we have on our stream. We have a little wager with our community of my co-host, my brother-in-law. He's a Nuggets fan too. But we were just talking about this game, about what we expect to happen in the Golden State Warriors game tonight, and knowing that Draymond is out, it's going to be a little bit closer of a game. Now, I still think it's 5.5. I think it grew to 6 at one point. So I think it's still going the other way. People just dumping on Golden State. Everyone's loving Golden State tonight. But I was like, all right, well, you still have a team like Sacramento who's very high powered, that has a fantastic offense, that's been able to put up points against a team that lost one of its best defensive players, the best passers on the team, one of the best, like the heart and soul of that team. So I feel like, I still like, we were going back and forth, and I was like, I need the 5.5. I need the 5.5. Give me that, and I'll take the Kings in this series, in this game.
Whoa. You telling me Golden State is favored in this game?
Golden State's favored by 6.
Look, Chris, I'm trying to tell y'all, Vegas is trying to help y'all out. How in the hell is the Golden State Warriors favored by 6?
I'm just, hey,
give me that logic.
So I can't tell you. I mean, that's why I chose to go plus 5.5 on the other side. So that was my thing. But we have ties. It's an inside joke in our community. We have ties all the time in our polls that we have with all of our people. So we were like, all right, well, my brother-in-law was like, all right, we're going to, I want the other side. I like Golden State to win this by 5. So if it's a tie, if it's literally a tie, it's a push, we get pies in the face. So we're doing pies in the face. If I'm wrong, though, I get a pie. If he's wrong, he gets a pie. So either way, we're having some fun with this wager tonight. So I see a pie to the face.
I see a pie to the face bet between the Lakers and the Denver, brother. I can see a pie to the face. My wife would be more than happy to oblige, put the pie in my face too.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to see that. I want to see that.
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would, Rich.
Yeah, Rod. I don't want to get. You might need to change out of the suit and the hat when you get that pie, man.
That's what makes it special, man.
Yes, sir. No, I'm looking forward to that. It's a collision course, right? Lakers and Nuggets. So I mean, I think, hey, let's chat about a little bit of something fun with that series.
Hey,
see the house of cards fold up. We can see.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this, Chris. I want it to be fair, okay? Because I wouldn't have a dog in the race if the Warriors lost this series. So I'm just gonna tell you like this here, because Rod has so much hate against my Golden State Warriors. There is no way in hell I would choose the Lakers side. If my team is not out, I'm going to just, if y'all don't mind, I'm just going to kind of sway in the middle a little bit and go with anybody who plays against the Lakers. But it's really that simple. He has put so much hate out there about my Warriors.
Wow.
I
Come
cannot
on,
cheer for
come
the
on.
Lakers anymore.
Okay.
I just
all
can't
right.
do it.
Come on, man. You gonna go against the best player in the world? Come on, man.
The best player in the world. And Chris, we got to get your prediction before we leave out here. Who do you have in the Western Conference Finals? Now, I picked Golden State. Rod picked the Lakers. Who do you have?
You
Come
mean
on.
representing the West?
Representing the West.
Who you think he's gonna take? Let me guess who.
Let me
who
guess.
I mean, come on.
I want to see if it's anybody different. I mean, like
No.
Clippers, yeah, Clippers, right? You're going with the Clippers, right?
I'm the least scared of the Clippers of any team in the NBA in the West. Nuggets own the Clippers.
So let me ask you guys. Let me ask Chris a question because Chris and I had a phone conversation, and I told my wife when I got off the phone. I said, I told Chris on the phone. I believe the Warriors and the Sacramento Kings were going 7. And Chris came back with, you think it's going 7, but I never asked him. I assumed he thought the Warriors, you believe Sacramento is going to be Golden State in less than 7 games. That's what you were telling me?
I just thought, there's a couple things that I think it's going to be at least a 6-game series, if not 7. I think, I leaned towards the Warriors in 6.
Oh, I thought you were saying Sacramento, and you said you think it's going 6. I see what you're saying. You're saying that the Golden State Warriors are going to win the next 4 games in a row.
Kings in 5.
Kings in 5.
Can I say something right quick? Because I saw something that y'all can't see, okay? I hope everybody's listening. Rashard knows her personally. My wife is actually listening to this my podcast for the first time, sitting right next to me, okay? Now, y'all got to understand, so let me give you the layout. She is a huge Warrior fan. Let me tell y'all how big it is. My wife is spiritually, I truly believe she's spiritually connected to the Warriors. Because when she sit down on the couch and the game starts, y'all gonna love this. If the Warriors come out and they turn the ball over real quick, she looks at me and she said, I'm going to bed. They're going to suck tonight, and I can't watch this. I kid y'all not. In the first 2 games, that's what she said. Oh, nope, can't watch this. They turn the ball over first play. I'm out. But she looks at me and she tells me they're always doubting the Warriors. And every year the Warriors have to come back from some deficit that everybody doubts them on. She said, they're all going to lay it down. And I'm telling you, and I got to put this out there. Now, I'm the better. I'm the wager in the house and all that stuff. But my wife be on some crazy. Let me put it this way. My wife had Golden State winning Game 4 in Boston last year. I didn't have Golden State winning that game. And we all remember what happened with what Steph did in that game. I'm just telling y'all she's spiritually connected. And she says, she
says Kings in 5. That's what she said.
Rod, she hear you saying Kings in 5. She was just talking about how much she liked you 2 weeks ago, but I guarantee you, within the next couple of days, she's going to say, you know what? I don't like Rod. Guys, this has been so fun. It is now 8:16. Chris, I'm going to hit you up sometime next week. We're going to try to put something together, man. We have truly enjoyed you. We enjoyed the show. I normally go into something else, but Rashard, I'm not going to do that tonight because, like I said, it's 8:16 and the Warriors come on in 45 minutes. I got to go. Look, good show, guys. I appreciate it. We got to do this again. This is Richard Cole, and Let's Talk Sports. Peace. We out.